Right, everybody, welcome to the channel. Today I'm going to do a video on one question that will come up in your mind numerous times while you're going through a Kundalini Awakening. If you're going through a Kundalini Awakening where the energy is permanently on in the body and you're going through all these traumas and all these things are coming up, this question is going to come up, and that question is, when will this end? When will it end? And that is, in a sense, that question's a trap. That question's come up for me so many times. I'm 10 years into this process. I'm over the worst of it, but I still do deal with physical pain. And yeah, there's still stuff being cleared out for me. Like there's deeper layers of some of my emotional and spiritual issues that are still being cleared out. But early on, I was very much like setting these targets in front of me of when's this going to end. So I'd be like, okay, I can imagine that this is going to be done in 2 years. Then 2 years had come, and no, I'm still there. And so the place you need to get to is full acceptance of no relationship to how long it's going to take. So for me now, like, for the most part, that question just doesn't come up. I'm just with it. I'm with the process. Like, when it's finished, it will be finished. And what I mean by finished in this context is the energy has cleared out all the physical blockages and emotional blockages and is flowing cleanly through the body. So my intuition and understanding of what this energy will be like once it's finally cleared all that physical dross and emotional and mental dross out is the energy will just flow cleanly through the body in the kind of Taurus like pattern. It'll just be flowing up and out of the spine like that, and you'll just be able to feel that, and there won't be any blockages, there won't be any pain in relation to that. This is essentially what I think in the Bible when there's a quote by in the Bible, there's the phrase by Jesus, "My cup is overfloweth," and I believe that's what he's talking about. Like, that energy is just on and flowing, basically. I'm not like a Christian or anything, but there's good wisdom in that book in parts, and that is, I think, when Jesus says, like, "My cup is overfloweth," I think that's what he's talking about in that. The energy is just like, essentially overflowing, and it's just like this permanent energy coming from source through the body, and so that's my understanding of what it would be to be fully healed. But yeah, you've got to be careful with setting these artificial deadlines. I remember very early on in my process, it was before I'd really descended into the extreme pain and suffering, but it was pretty bad. And I went to see a couple of some friends, and I was telling them about this, and my one of my friends, she said to me, "It might never end." And for me to hear that, like, at that point was, I'll be honest, it was horrifying. It was absolutely horrifying. This is like, I don't know, a few months in, like 3 months in maybe. And yeah, it was brutal because you're caught in the worst of it at that point. So to imagine that level of it is never going to end, so to speak. And I don't think that's what she was actually saying. I think she was just meaning this energy's on in you now. Like, it's not, there's no end point. Like, the journey is the process, so to speak. Yeah. And that's a big truth, actually. You want to get to the point of understanding that it's about the journey as much as some kind of end point. like, there's a video by Alan Watts, it's a really good one, I'll link it in the description, and he's comparing life to music, and he's sort of saying that if the end point was what it was all about, then you'd have like musicians just composing pieces of just like this, just the final note, just like the or just this, even just the silence at the end, and not the whole piece. You know, the whole piece is what gives it beauty. And so yeah, I guess it's just about getting into that space of, and I touched on this in my video on the present moment practices, but it's just about getting into that space of being with it. I no longer have any artificial deadlines, mind constructed ideas of when this is going to end. So yeah, to summarize, I completely understand that you are going to ask this question. I've asked it many times, but really, I would strongly recommend that you move into a space of, every time that question comes up, unattaching from it, detaching from the outcome of a time-based outcome. Just sort of pull yourself in a moment and say, I'm here with this process now. I'll be healed when I'm healed. And so yeah, you're then detaching from any attachments to when it kind of needs to be done according to your ego's demands or anything like that. So yeah, I hope this video was helpful for some of you, and thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video.